Hey guys, welcome back. In this lecture I introduced you props. In this lecture we'll continue and we'll talk about iterations. Let's start. Open your coding editors and let's see to-do list.vue. First of all, I would like to separate this data into a different structure. I would like to create an array with all of this data and send this array to our to-do list component. So let's do it. Let's open our app.vue component. And let's create here data. So under components, I will create here data function that returns object. All right. And let's create here to-dos. Okay, so I'll specify here to-dos, and to-dos will be array. So I will write here square brackets for array, and let's get here our items. Each item will be object like this. And I will specify on each object ID, title, and a description. So ID will be just some unique identifier for a to-do, title you know, and description you know. So let's write here, let's say underscore ID, and there is no particular reason I'm writing here underscore ID. The actual only reason is that in the future lectures, we'll be using underscore ID because data from Mongo database will be receiving with this ID like this. So we can get used to it. Okay, so underscore ID, and let's say ID for my first to-do will be, let's say 1. As a string. Alright, now let's specify your title. So let's write your title, and let's get our title from a to-do list. So I will actually copy everything from here, and let's paste it to our app.vue just for now. Okay, so somewhere, I don't know if it was a good idea, but let's paste it here, and let's get here a title. So here will be walk the dog. Alright, so I'll copy this. Let's get here our title. So walk the dog. And probably we should use here single quotes. You can see everywhere we are using here single quotes. For classes we are using double quotes. It's not a big deal, but we should stay with only one convention. So I will use here just a single quotes. Okay, so ID, and walk the dog will be in a single quotes like this. All right, now let's specify here description. Description will be go to forest near the zoo. So I will copy this. All right, perfect. And I will copy this object and I will paste it 2 more times. So write here comma after, second time, and a third time. Let's change these IDs. So second item will be ID 2, third item will have ID 3. Let's get here buy a bread. So this will be title for our to-do number 2. All right, whole grain would be good. So I will copy this. I will paste it to our description here. Alright, let's go with the to-do title and to-do description. Actually, these ones are specified as a variable, so I will remove this. Let's go to our to-do list and let's get them from here. So let's copy learn programming and preferable tomorrow. And let's paste it here. So title here and description here. And actually we can remove this data from here. So I will remove this data. Alright, let's go back to our app component. And let's get this here. So description, preferable tomorrow. Amazing. So now we have here to-dos array, and we can send these to-dos to our to-do list. Okay, so I can specify here props. Okay, so let's say to-dos, and let's send here our to-dos like this. So you can see I am not writing here any quotes because I'm not sending here string value, but I'm sending here my array of the to-dos. Perfect, let's go to our to-do list component and let's receive these props here. So specify here props. We are expecting to get here to-dos, so write here to-dos. This will be required true. And the type of this data is an array, like this. Perfect. So now we can create here iteration. So instead of displaying all these to-dos, I can display only one, like this. I will remove these v-binds here. So it's not taking so much space, and I will use here a special directive called v4. Okay, let's write here as on the first place v-4, and let's write here iteration. So let's say to-do in, and now we need to specify actual data. So our data are to-dos because to-dos is an array, so to-dos like this. This one, this to-do is our custom name we choose here. We can choose here anything, whatever we want, and whatever we will get here in each iteration. Okay, so each iteration as we are iterating to-dos, the value from a to-do will get to whatever we want, and then we can use whatever we want value to display title and a description. But of course, I would prefer other name to-do or item or any other reasonable name. So to-do is actually okay. Okay, so now to a title I can pass here to-do title, and to do description I specified here on my object. So I am iterating each of objects here. So first iteration I have my first object, and as I told you before, you can access title and description with a dot syntax or a square bracket syntax. Okay, so I can write here to-do dot title, but I could write here also to-do and a square brackets and description like this, and this will work. Let's save this. Let's go back to our browsers. Let's refresh, and we are missing comma. Let's get back. And let's write comma where it is. We are not missing it here. Let's see our app.view. And probably here, yes, after data, don't forget a comma here. Let's save this. Let's go back to our browsers. Right, let's refresh, and you can see we are displaying all of our data. But I was expecting to receive here a warning or an error. So let's see if we are getting some error or a warning. And actually, no, that's very interesting. Let's see terminal, and yeah, here we are getting some warning. So you can see and read this warning here. Components list rendered with the v4 should have explicit keys. Okay, so when you have a multiple items of the same kind as our items, you should specify key on your element. All right, so let's go back to our coding editors. And let's see our to-do list. So when we are iterating, we need to specify here a key. All right, so I can write here after v4 key. So we can write here v-bind and a key like this, or simply we can remove v-bind and just leave here a key. And for key, we need to provide some unique value. And I think for a key, we should provide to-do._id we specified here. Okay, so I'll write here for a key to-do._id. Let's save this. Let's go back to our browsers. Refresh, everything is working. Let's see our terminals. And they are not displaying any warning anymore. Perfect. Alright guys, so that should be it for this lecture. I showed you how you can iterate your items. In next lecture we'll continue and we'll start working on some more features. So guys, stay excited and I hope to see you in the next lecture. Cheers guys.